Evening, guys. Well, I've got a lot of saws to show you. So, I got rained off the other day, and then hailstones on top of me as I was setting up. Poured out about 20 saws, and then some of you may have seen the clips, and it just came down. And so I've poured out another 12 or 14, which I'm going to just go through 10 of them, or 12, and then I hope to bring out another 15 or 20 tomorrow. There's just such a ridiculous amount to show. So, without any further ado, so some of these saws are absolutely sensational, and some are, well, they're all old, and some just need either a huge amount of work or are just amazing parts saws. So it's a really interesting distinction. So where to start? Well, let's start with the Alpina. Now, Alpina as a company are really, really interesting. It's really hard to get lots of accurate dates and times for certain companies, and Alpina again is strange in this regard, and Oleomac, and the crossover to Caster, and so many dates are wrong from so many sources of information. So Alpina officially started in 1960, and they didn't make their first chainsaw, and I would say this source of information is really accurate. They didn't get their first chainsaw manufactured until 68, 8 years after they started in garden machinery, and that was the A70. So this girl is the spectacular, the 070S, moved on very slightly from the A70 in a few design tweaks, some which people love, some I absolutely love. So these run a 51mm piston, odd size 51mm piston, just under a 35mm stroke, nominal 70cc, absolute brutes. The engines are total brutes. They run what they call the Tensmatic system, which they took a bit of stick for. I absolutely love it. So when you release the guide bar nuts, you have a very heavy spring on this lever, pull it up, and it puts, so say, the correct amount of tension on for the chain. I absolutely love it. And the oiler is a really beautiful mechanical design. Works off a reciprocating gear or lever which actuates the pump as it goes round. Beautifully engineered. Dreadful when they go wrong, but just absolutely gorgeous. So can run up to about a 22-inch bar. They probably could run more, in fact. They're monster engines. So this girl's fitted with the an Oregon, I think that's a 19 or 20 nose wheel, and cosmetically, how is this girl? Well, a bit of paint and a bit of wear on the underside. So AV mounts at this stage then into the 70s. Beautiful handle wrap, metal knuckle guard, no chain brake, top fill for the tank, oil fill at the side, and just amazing pieces of kit. So this girl suffers from one of the problems which these saws get, which is the starter pulls are not the most spectacular design, but they're incredibly hard and steel metal. When they start to slip and wear, when people just don't look after them or clean them, they just start to slip off. They really do just kind of round off. So this girl has, if I pull it, she slips on the starter pulls, definitely. And she does run. definitely slips. I poured her with the gentleman, and it came off the pulls half a dozen times, so I don't know why that's engaging. I haven't taken the side cover off, haven't taken the bar and chain off her. That's bizarre, actually. She definitely slips on the starter pulls. That's bizarre. Honestly, that's absolutely bizarre. Okay. I'm not joking. I must have pulled that over 10 times and felt that slip. Okay, right. Sometimes you can't make things up, can you? So, definitely slips on the starter pulls. If she's not slipping now, she's definitely going to slip on the starter pulls. Fires, nothing else to this saw, exactly as you see her. So a bit of paint missing in this corner. She sat on the floor. Nice paint at the front, has the felling spike, correct filler caps, lovely wrap. No breaks to the pull start housing, no breaks to the rear handle. And so it's a bit bizarre that, because the reason she's not being used is because she couldn't be started because she's slipping on the pulls. But absolutely perplexing, this. So, an amazing project saw. So from the 70s, and they're really tough to find as well. To find a nice Alpina 70 is so difficult. So I would say this is the perfect definition of a restoration project. A saw that you know is firing, has ignition, obviously feeding fuel, has a very fixable mechanical problem. And the reason I know that the pulls are common is because I have had that on 2 or 3 other Alpina 70s, and the pulls are really difficult to get. Really difficult. So I was very fortunate at the time. There was a company in Italy, but I don't know any longer if they ship to the UK. But so bear that in mind. What I'm saying is the pulls. I haven't seen it. It might be the starter ring, of course. It might be the pulley itself, and it is possible to dress those. So I digress. That's the gorgeous Alpina 70, untouched, exactly as she's arrived. Running 3/8. Chain has chains onto the nibs, but just a thing of beauty. I think all up with a 20-inch bar, these coming in at around 9 kilos. I think they're just under. Just over 7.5, I think, without the bar. So 20 pounds, completely manageable weight, beautiful, real man saw, spectacular. That's the Alpina 70. A bit shocked that's not slipping on the pulls. That's been slipping over and over. Okay. Now these are a pull for me. They are. There's 2 Danon 55s. Mark II's right hand pull start. So one for parts only. So both have, this one's fitted with a 20-inch solid nose bar, excellent tip symmetry, teeth life excellent, definitely will need sharpening. Looks complete all the way around, little plastic grip on the throttle underneath, correct down on filler caps. Tiny bit of wear just underneath the felling spike, definitely oiling, felling spikes present, mufflers really looks good. And so this girl, and it's interesting, this saw, because when I checked this, I was going to show it whenever it was, yesterday, the day before, and I got rained off. This saw he thought was working, and then it wasn't sparking. And as you know, I love down arm saws. So I'm intrigued because the ignition on these saws is really good. It's really good. So I haven't taken off. Haven't taken off the bar. I haven't taken on it carburetor. Nothing. This is, as you see, this girl is as she is. I took off the cover because where they tend to get broken is the most ridiculous place. The kill switch wire coming up from the coil assembly. Has this one got an electronic ignition on? Or was that? Come back to that. So did I mention these are mid-70s saw, or it's 1970 in fact, depending on the model, and run a, what do they produce? Just under 3 horsepower, 54cc. They run a, they're a 1 3/4 piston, they are, and a 1.375 inch stroke. So what is that metric? 44.5 and 36, just under in fact. Beautiful engines. I took the cover off, and you can't make it up, the kill switch wire is just arcing and shorting against. It's all mag alloy construction. You don't tend to see these problems with plastic saws. It's shorting against the lid when the lid's screwing down. That's the only reason. So I said to I called him back. I said, "But you can have the saw back." I said, "If you want it." Explain what it is, but you know, I think he's just pleased to be rid of so many saws. So yeah, let me show you how this girl runs. Beautiful engine, absolutely beautiful. Choke, kill switch. Kill switches are back to front. Got to put myself in down on mode. Yeah, and they're prone for braking on the pull start housing. Incredibly, no brakes on this pull start housing, and I'll show you the other one. No brakes on the other. Beautiful correct filler caps. Just the reason this girl looks so time warp, again, she's handles all tight, obviously non-AV, beautiful cutting engines. Did I mention this has a 20-inch bar, excellent tip symmetry, runs 3/8 pitch. Is that full chisel? Oiler's working really well. I can't tell if it's full chisel or semi-chisel. Full chisel, just needs a really good sharpen. So oiling, so this girl's spectacular, other than, well, she's already running spectacularly, but you know, it would be good to have a tank flush, check the filter, perhaps check the carb, although again, I say these things and she just is a beautiful running engine. Ow! Oh, great compression. So that's the first down on 55 Mark II, right hand pull, and they're hard to find in this type of all original condition as far as I can tell. Looks like all the fasteners are present, and so the second one has another 20-inch bar, great tip symmetry, and pull start housing, just great to have spares. Lovely front handle wrap. There's no clutch drum, so that's why it's not pulling over, and there's no screws on the side cover, so you know, as you've seen, lots of the saws came in boxes. Flywheel's undamaged, turns over smoothly with great compression. He said the piston is really clean. So correct filler caps. So she's going to go with the other Mark II, and just an amazing set of spares. So if you're already running them, this could be an incredible combination for somebody, because I already have several of the 55s, and they're already cleaned and running beautifully. But I've got to say that runs rock steady. So there we go, one amazing parts collection and one beautiful complete 55. It's actually just a stunning running engine. Oh, of course, got great compression. beauty. Really, really torn with this one. Absolutely beautiful. And okay, what should we look at next? Actually, let's stay on the down arms just for a second, because this is a really interesting girl as well. So if this is not suitable for anybody out there, I might just hang this girl up. So, and she has an unusual problem as well. This, so made in the 70s by Quadra, badged by, why, so many companies, aren't they? Johnsons, I love it. And they all carry their own unique colours: Frontier, Johnsons, Danon, Skilsaw, etc. So this girl is the Mark IV, so the very tail end with this little metal knuckle guard. Oilers taken from here now to automatic oiler with a manual thumb oiler on top, and has the most basic design change at the back, where there's this little baby, almost like a rubber grommet, put in to make it AV. So it runs just like the 009s from Steel, slightly bigger piston. What are these? 1.18, so they're 36.5, 36.4, something like that, and then a 32.5 mil stroke. So nominal 34cc, so roughly the same size piston as the Steel 009, but a little bit shorter on the stroke. Correct filler caps. It's just beautiful, and beautiful exhaust. And he said he was pulling over and it's suddenly gone tight. And I've seen that before. I've taken off the side cover, checked the and the exhaust, it's only a single screw. The exhaust looks clean, and when you spin it, you can feel something catching. So I presume it doesn't look like it's gone into the barrel. It hasn't been run apparently since. I presume one of the races, and I've seen that before, either one of the big end races is broken up, or one of the main bearings has broken up. But so I presume it's either the main or the big end, and it actually pulls, and sometimes we'll go round and then we'll feel it go tight, and it's just, they're a really, really simple strip. But in terms of condition, she's absolutely gorgeous. So this is definitely, again, a restoration saw. The flywheel's perfect, all the components are there, just looks amazing. Virtually looks undamaged, all the screws look present. So that's a gorgeous little project. That's the Danon 36 Mark IV with the little knuckle guard. So that's running a little, I think that's the little 10-inch bar. Just spectacular. Even as a showpiece, that's spectacular. So we'll see. It may just be one I hang up. It's just, look at it. It's just irreplaceable, isn't it? In the Danon colours like this. That's gorgeous. Okay then, staying with small saws. Okay, let's show some of these. Right. So the guy had a number of Echoes, and particularly the smaller ones, and I'm pretty sure a couple of those are the S's. So these are the little baby Japanese Echo, Kiritsu, Japan. What are these? 1970s, about a 10-year spread. The 302 and the 302S, 1970, 1980, around there. Nominal 30cc. Beautiful engines. Are they 3827 or 3728? I think they're 37. I think they're 37 mil piston, 28 mil stroke, and nominal 30cc. So there's 4 chassis here, and I think there's enough to make 3 complete saws minus 1 top cover. So this one was the simplest 2. Earlier on, I just put some fuel in it. I thought, he said a couple of them he thought ran. I put fuel in this one. So, well, I didn't even have throttle lock on. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at the footprint of these saws. They are absolutely tiny, and they're so ferocious. Um, they can run from a 12-inch to a 16-inch. Although I think the 16-inch at the top end is pushing them. I think they're much better with either a 12 or a 14. And it would be interesting to know. What's that running? I haven't even taken off the side covers to check. So they could be either running 1/4-inch pitch, which I think is where these are spectacular. Either with a 1/4-inch pitch, or they might be running 3/8 low profile. But 1/4-inch pitch with a solid nose echo bar is the way to run them. So absolutely complete knuckle guard. Another absolutely complete one, but what's missing off this? The pull cord and the coil cap, but beautiful looking, just absolutely beautiful. And I think there's two different versions. I think there's there's the PPK original version, then the slightly later version with the serial number. So enough to make, I think, definitely two complete saws with one, 95% finished. So they're just gorgeous, all mag alloy construction. Perhaps tomorrow we'll get on to the big brothers, the 615, the 702, and we'll try and get those out tomorrow. They'll be interesting, really interesting. Right, let's put those there. What were these like? Yes, okay, so yeah, this other girl, nice covers as far as I can tell, and was missing the carburet, and the other one had the carburet and the coils to go on the other one. So they're really, really interesting. Okay. Oh, these are beauties. So where to start with these saws? So this girl is one of the Homelight XL saws, XL Textron. So she gives away her age slightly with the colour. So you'll see here we've got the blue and white enamel. The earlier versions of some of the Homelights came in the red and white enamel. So, and this girl's claim to fame was, this is the XL103, and these are it's strange the displacements for some of these. There's around between 57 and 58 that get recorded. I think they're 57.5 cc's, and the smallest and lightest XL saw made during the day, which was only a short window, 68, 69, 70, that type of era, and just so compact. It's such a compact saw. And you virtually never see this. The oil filler cap is next to your hand knuckle at the very back, and you fill in vertically from the back. Space saving, baby little oil tank. Only missing one thing as far as I can tell, which is the air filter cap. Actually, I should check if it's the same fitment as the XLs, because they're commonplace, and got to check that, didn't think about that. So 68, 69, again, bar's not been removed from this saw. Comes with the felling spike and tiny brake on one part of the exhaust, and it's got this beautiful mechanism here. I don't know how clear it is. So like some of the Pioneer series saws, which have like the 20 series, which, if any of you know them, with the easy arc start, when you pull it over, as you pull the pull start housing, the pulley has a sprung loaded arm wrapped around it, like an extended C clip. And as you pull it, it pulls up and it depresses a decompression valve on the side of the engine, which is why they always feel low compression. You have no option to do that one way or the other. These girls have a slight play on this. They have this beautiful decompression valve assembly built into the throttle lock. So when you decompress the throttle lock, it pulls up the decompression valve on the side of the engine. It's just so beautifully engineered. And so this saw, I've asked him what's wrong with it, and he said, well, it's missing a top cover. It's been stood a very long time, and he believes it fires. So I've pulled the plug, cleaned the plug, I poured it out. The filter was one of the felt filters. It was gummed solid, so I've just quickly rinsed it. Nothing else. Bar and chain haven't come off. So she's running, and you can just see it as well. You can just make out the home light. This is the original. I'm pretty sure, again, this is a 20-inch. Might be a 19. The Alpina is a 19, actually. What's that? Let's have a look. 20. Okay, so this is running the original home light 20-inch bar, and 3/8 pitch. Good tooth life. Evidently needs sharpening. Let me show you how she runs. This is a beautiful, beautiful saw. That's why I say what an amazing batch of project saws. Do we need choke? That way? I'm in down arm mode. So she literally starts first or second pull, goes to this rock steady idle, and it's just flawless, just the most beautiful. So smallest footprint XL saw from the late 60s end, 68, 69, 70-ish. Just starts a year after the Super XL12, in fact. Same displacement, well, that's an interesting story as well. So automatic oiler and manual oiler, all working. Just tried it now. So I'm pulled with this one as well. I did have some XL103s a year or so ago, and they went to a collector in America, and I've regretted because I've never kept any of the spares since then, and then one turns up and just missing a top cover, and is just the most amazing early example in red and white enamel. So that's the XL103, and they're a real pleasure to use as well. Make sure that's off. Particularly they've got fantastic compression. So genuinely, what is she going to be? She's, wow, she's, you know, in a few years she's going to be 60 years old. So that's a staggering saw. Just missing a top cover. Amazing. Put that tool there. Okay. Interesting, the weight difference. So this gore then is the Super XL. So this design, Home Light, you probably heard me talking about the Home Electric Light Company, and they're starting. That's amazing, that story. So nominal 58cc, depending how you count it. So this saw again is untouched, cover's not been off, exactly as it's arrived, and pulled the fuel filter, done the plug, and yes, that's right. When I pulled the filter, the end of the pipe, it just, you know, you get the rubber pipes and they just start to dissolve in your hand. You're left with the black, just the black residue of rubber, which has deteriorated over, you know, 20, 30 years. So the red and whites of these saws, American, actually the wing of Home Light went across Europe, and so is this one got the Canadian badge? Yeah, it has. Okay, so interesting. So blue and white, slightly later, early 70s though, undoubt. And apart from and the exhaust said devils for rotting, this thing's had some dreadful bit of welding done here to hold the bolts on, to just hold this grill on. Let me show what this grill runs like. Just again, nothing done to this engine, just a spectacular saw. Let's bit of choke off. screw end, fully automatic oiler. At this stage they have the little brass blanking plug in, so you could see where the original casting had the plunger set. So chain guide plates present. This is this beautiful bar with lovely tip symmetry, solid nose, so a stellite tip, a bit like the steel, this hardening technology. 3/8 chain life excellent, just gorgeous. Does she require anything? I'd say absolutely nothing, other than just working on the cover for the exhaust. So she's a spectacular restoration project. So if somebody wanted to clean her up or paint her or put other panels on, just because her compression is fantastic, and is untouched, just untouched. She also comes with a donor saw. Actually, I wonder how many donor saws he has left there. Lots. So, and the beauty of this donor saw is it has this beautiful, well, the handle almost looks like new. This beautiful blue handle. It has, haven't taken that off. Yeah, okay. Another pull start casing. The flywheel coil. I don't know if it. Oh yeah, turns over with compression. So I don't know. Yep, clutch. Okay, right. I didn't even know that. I didn't even see it. She hold through the base of the engine. So fantastic part saw. So it means, you won't be using the crankcases, but what an amazing part saw to keep the other one running. Lovely chain cover, pull start housing, flywheel, just amazing. Possibly a piston as well. So that's the other part saw, which is going to come with the other XL. So that's really nice to have. Now then, okay, right, let's look at, these are interesting as well. Guys, there's so many saws to show. So I hope there's multiple suitables for people, because one, I just simply don't have the space, and two, I know the other guy's going to be so pleased that so many saws will be rehomed, and then they'll be having a life where they just won't be stuck and they're never being seen. And I'm partially guilty of that myself, but I'll be more diligent bringing them out to show people some of the amazing vintage saws I have. So this is branded. These are beautiful saws as well. These are branded Dolmar 104 in the Dolmar orange. Beautiful, almost, because it's so bright you almost think it's plastic, but it's mag alloy. And the correct, I think that's German on the bar there, the correct guide bar. Again, haven't taken the guide bar off it. When you look at the shape, this is obviously made by Poulin Beard, and this is a variation of the either the S25, which is a nominal. Yeah, it's interesting, very interesting, this series of saw, particularly with their change of ownership as well. So I would say this is going to be a nominal 35cc, although there is some documents to say that some of these 104s were actually 38cc displacement by the time that Dolmar were using them, which I believe was I don't think that was it the S25? Were they using the XXV Deluxe then? Unsure. So never taken a piston out of one of these or measured it to see what it is. This saw is in gorgeous condition, absolutely gorgeous. Non-AV, Poulin did an AV version of this as well. Has really, really good compression for a small engine, and I put some fuel in the carburetor before I brought it out just to show people that it actually fires. So I don't have time to check the fuel filter. I had a look in there and it looked like it's just a really gummed up felt filter. So rather than try to rush and pick at things, so there she is. That's the beautiful little Dolmar 104 hobby saw, aka the Poulin, which I think is the S25, or it might be the XXV. Some very interesting variations, and she looks absolutely complete. And she also comes with as you seem to have so many, she comes with a another saw, another one, which I think is the same Dolmar. I'm pretty sure it is. There's some interesting design changes they had, but again, so she has, well, it's a spare engine. I haven't even tested if it, yep, turns over with compression, spare front handle, pull start housing, flywheel's undamaged, and a coil. So, oh, interesting. Okay, right. So she's got a broken. She has a broken pulley in the pull start housing. Maybe that's what started her demise and started use as a. But casing looks excellent. So she's going to come with another part saw as well, which is really nice. What does that leave? One more interesting one to show. Very interesting. So this girl, the Dolmars. This is the 112 in orange. As you'll know then, West German. Wall didn't come down until 89, November. This girl is dates from 86. Actually, they normally have a date stamp on, which I didn't even check actually. I wonder if she has. Can you see? I can't see. Okay, so paint looks really, really good, and so I'm going to say this is probably a well, I would say it's a pretty simple fix for somebody. So she looks good all the way around. Chain brake feels like it works, but there's no band inside, but the mechanism looks great. The cover looks undamaged. The exhaust looks excellent. Doesn't appear to be any breaks to the chassis. Correct filler caps. These are a 51cc engine. Yes, they are, and these run they're a 51cc, and they run, are they running a 4532? Just beautiful running engine. So she has a couple of problems, and they are obviously not working, but the reason for that, I think, is a real design flaw as well from Dolmar. The pull start housing is in plastic, and well, actually a lot of them are, but it just feels like a weakness for this particular saw. And so because one of the lugs is broken off and then people have still kept pulling on it, it's missing. So if I actually hold it in, she will pull over with compression. I've checked, has a great spark. So I think it's probably just replace the pulls, replace the pull start housing, and then start working on the saw. But I am unsure. So, because, you know, if you wanted the chain brake, but other than that, that's an amazing part saw. Seems to pull over smoothly, and these are spectacular cutters when they're working as well. All mag alloy on the tank, which I absolutely love, just like her bigger brothers. So there we go. That's the 112, which, yeah, I think this would make an amazing restoration project. All the castings look fantastic. Look at the paint on the base of this engine. Has it done any work? When I see them like this, I tend to think it's probably broken here quite quickly, and then people have tried to use it, ended up breaking the pulls or the pulley even more, to the point where it just can't be used, and it's just sat. Yep, So it wouldn't surprise me if the brake band was taken off and then fitted on something else, just because, you know, they can wear out. But other than that, that's a beautiful saw. There we go. That's the 112. Right, guys. That's probably enough tonight. We'll get to another batch of 10 or 12 tomorrow. We've got some big saws to show tomorrow. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun, actually. And oh, I've just got to show this again. Can you believe this XL 103 all this time? And all this time. So from 68, 32, 55, 56 years old. And it's just... one pull and flawless. So you can tell how he's kept some of his collection. So I feel sad about some of the saws, just because they've just not worked for him, just for the tiniest basic things, which is why we'll do some more things in the workshop. We should just go over the real, again, just some of the first things you check, and even when they look okay, just we'll go over some reminders just to go over them and just see it yourself. And even if somebody says they've done something, we'll just pull it apart and we'll check it. We should do one from scratch. It'd be so much fun. And if this comes out clear, the oil pattern on this bar as well. So I'm hoping that some of these are going to be rehomed and going to make amazing saws for some of you guys out there. Hey guys, thanks for watching. And look at this go. Mid-70s. The end of an era for people that love British saws. This was coming towards the end of an era. Look at the handle wrap. Just... Alright, let's finish on one more high note, the down arm. Kill switch around the less intuitive way, some would say, because it seems easier to pull back, but the thinking was, of course, if your hand is here, you just push it forward with your thumb. Down on 55, Mark II, right hand pull start, no brakes, correct colours, gorgeous paintwork. Ah dear, if I had more space. Guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, we'll get to the rest, well, some and more tomorrow. Bye for now.